Well, there is a major new study out on weight loss, and it shows that people who cut carbs and eat more fat may actually have better results than those who avoid fat altogether. Love it. Let's bring in Dr. Kevin Campbell. He's a practicing cardiologist and an assistant professor of medicine at the University of North Carolina. Hey, this is some great news for people who like butter, steak, and eggs.
It really is. These low-carb diets were a big fad in the last 10 years, and now we're seeing evidence that they really are associated with better weight loss, and they don't seem to negatively affect our cholesterol and, increase our risk for heart disease, which is, one of the big concerns in these diets in the first place.
Well, you probably remember the Atkins diet that was very popular about 10 years ago, and it said, basically eat a lot of protein, you can eat bacon, you can eat steak, all that kind of stuff. So did Atkins have it right?
I think he did in some sense. I think those high-protein, low-carbohydrate, low-refined sugar diets do result in better weight loss. But I do want to point out that a lot of these diets, when they're restrictive, are very difficult to follow to the letter. And sometimes we fall off the train that way and may not get the weight loss we're looking for.
All right. Well, there is another study that is out. I want to ask you about this one. It's from Oxford University. Researchers found that eating one piece of fruit a day can cut our risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 40%, just one piece of fruit? You explain it.
So this was a large study on about 500,000 people in a database, and these were people who resided in China. And what they found is if these people consumed fruit, their risk of heart disease and stroke was much less. And the more fruit they consumed, the even lower the risk became. I think rather than saying that this is a cause and effect relationship, I think we may be seeing things that run together. In other words, if you eat a lot of fruit, you probably are more health conscious, you probably exercise and do other things that are beneficial to your health.
I love that. Okay, there is another group of studies I want to ask you about. It shows that children who don't eat their fruits and vegetables as babies are a lot more likely, well, they're less likely to eat them as they get older. So the point of this is you eat the stuff early, you'll acquire a taste for it throughout your life.
I thought this study was really, really interesting, and it was published in the Journal of Pediatrics this week. And what it showed was that if we introduce fruits and vegetables to children at kind of 10 to 12 months, they're more likely to want and prefer those items at age 6. Conversely, if we put a lot of sugary, sweetened things at that time, they also prefer it at age 6. It really tells me as a parent and as a dad, we have to model behaviors that we want for our children. Yep. We have to create an environment that supports those choices.
Doctor, this is one thing that drives me nuts. I go out to eat with my kids, and the first thing a server will ask, do you want some juice? Do you want some chocolate milk? And I'm saying no. First of all, it's like crack to kids, but nevertheless, they don't need to get used to it when they're so young. And that is something that you agree with. Keep that stuff away from kids if you can.
Exactly. I think that, water is a wonderful thing to drink, and we try to do that in our house because as parents, you have to eat Brussels sprouts if you expect your child to eat Brussels sprouts. So we model behaviors and good health choices, so hopefully we can fight the obesity epidemic in children going forward.
Yeah, and that is a huge problem, not just for families, but also for those of us paying the bills in the long run. Dr. Kevin Campbell, diabetes is such a huge problem in our nation. Thank you.